The Second Great Awakening was a great religious movement that swept across our great nation from the 1790s to the 1830s. The religious movement spread the Protestant religion, which therefore led to a large surge in popularity of the Protestant church. The Second Great Awakening started in Tennessee and Kentucky and ended in the Northeast. The movement was started by James McGready with the first camp in 1799 in Logan County, Kentucky. The camps were used to preach the Protestant and Methodist beliefs to a widespread amount of people. They stood on elevated stages while preaching to make their presence in the room greater. The people who attended these meetings would often beg for forgiveness and ask for their sins to be banished. Some preachings had an attendance with up to 50,000 people who wished to become changed. When the awakening reached the Northeast in the 1820s and 30s, the preachings lasted for much longer and the local community was much more involved. Because the community became involved, the awakening reached a new high. Although the Second Great Awakening was different, the practices were very similar to the First Great Awakening. The revival reached its peak in Rochester, New York. Charles Grandison Finney arrived in Rochester in September of 1830. People who attended Finney's meetings claimed to leave as changed men. Finney's sermons consisted of crude speech. However, when he talked of heaven, his tonality shifted and became more soft. This was due to the fact that he was a true believer that persuaded many to join Christianity. His meetings became very emotional, and many who attended would break out in tears or would start moaning. Finney worked to save souls in many ways. Not only did he help others by preaching, but he also worked to banish slavery. Charles Finney later became the pastor at the First Congregational Church, where he continued to preach his beliefs. American Protestantism stuck to its roots during the 18th century. However, Charles Finney and other Protestant preachers changed that by declaring that all humans possess free will. In 1776, the number of Americans that attended church was 1 out of 6. By 1850, thanks to the Second Great Awakening, that number doubled to 1 in 3. Lyman Beecher was a famous preacher from Connecticut who is also the father of Harriet Beecher Stowe. Lyman Beecher was born in Connecticut and also went to Yale Divinity School. The Second Great Awakening led to the temperance movement due to the fact that the Christian men thought that alcohol was evil. Not only did the Second Great Awakening lead to the temperance movement, it also went hand in hand with abolitionists and women's rights preachers. The Second Great Awakening was a key turning point in U.S. history, and without it we would not be where we are today in terms of religion and preaching itself.